Thursday. Right now, we are preparing our first meal of the day because later today we have a big speed workout on our schedule. This includes a 2 kilometer warm up, then 10 kilometers fast pace, and then followed by 4 times 750-meter repeats with 1 minute easy run in between to round it off with a 2 kilometer cool down. Right now, basically preparing my meal for the first run of this day, which is going to be an intensive one. So, besides the carbohydrates and the electrolytes, we need to have some whole foods in our system in order to perform the best way possible. There are days that you just don't want to run. You come up with all kinds of justifications on why you should deserve to take that day off. And this small voice in your head, it will not get away. But here is the thing, the plan doesn't change, even when motivation does. When you start preparing for your run and you take your supplements, then there is only one way to go, and that way is forward. Always remember, be 1% better every day. All right, so I just got back from another 18K morning run, the third run of this week. Tomorrow we have a bigger 27.5 kilometer workout. And right now on our schedule, we have a beautiful ribeye. This ribeye, together with 1 avocado and 3 pasture-raised eggs. But prior to that, we have also some protein of basically bone broth in terms of bone broth. So what we're gonna do, and what I would encourage most runners especially to do as well for bones and muscle health, is to add 10 grams per day of bone broth or any type of like collagen inside a pan. Just like cook it until it's basically hot. But this will help a lot as well to basically recover faster, to facilitate your recovery, so you're able to basically just perform better the next day. So right now we have a beautiful steak ribeye with 1 avocado, 3 pasture-raised eggs, and some bone broth. And this is basically the second meal of the day after the run. Later today, I have another session, a strength training session, where we'll hit chest and triceps, and then we of course will have some more carbohydrates later today. So we are able to use that of course tomorrow as well for the bigger 27.5K run. So right now cooking this up and having the second meal of the day. So this is what we will have for lunch. 1 steak, ribeye steak, 3 pasture-raised eggs, 1 whole avocado, and some bone broth. So this is literally what I've had as well in Spain. Looking back, literally 90, maybe 95% of the days, like every single day I had steak. Maybe once every few times I also had salmon, which I added to my nutrition. But this is something that is nutrient dense. I just feel really good. I get a real good energy from it. I don't have those energy dips, and this of course fuels me up as well for the second workout, which I will have later today. So I'm just gonna enjoy this beautiful meal, very easy to make, literally maybe 10, maximum 15 minutes to create, and yeah, it will not fail, truly. All right, so this is something what I always like to do, and if you haven't tried it, try it, because this tastes amazing. I always am a very big advocate of honey, so I always maybe add it on top of it. But in the beginning, I just cut the ribeye and I literally just dump it like that in the egg. It tastes really good. I add the avocado to it, and this bite is something that you won't find very much. It's amazing, it's easy, and it's delicious. So always when I'm eating, we always have company. Now he's leaving because he doesn't want to be in a camera, but he loves the steaks as much as I do. All right, so last week was my birthday, and this is what I got from my brother as basically gift to breathe better while running or even while sleeping. And I'm right now going to try it on this long run. I'm super excited to apply it. I just need to read through it properly, but this literally can be life-changing accordingly to a lot of people who use it already and a lot of runners who have already tried it. So yeah, I'm super curious what this will be and how this nose strip can actually help me during my runs. So according the size guide, I need to grab one of the, let's say, 4 sizes that comes with this package, and I need to try like this. The band should gently touch the widest part of my nostrils. So this should be the right size M1. And then we need to grab the adhesive tabs and we need to use the applicator, this one, to touch it on our nose. So let's try that out. All right, so let's try it out. We have these adhesive tabs, we have the applicator. Just gonna do this. And then we need to take off these strips like that. All right. Okay, now we need to add it onto the nose. So like this. Wait. So I think I've done it right now. Oh. Huh. Okay, the first one has been applied. Let's see the second one as well. Doing the same thing. Gonna remove the strips. And I need to wait 3 to 5 minutes from what I've read in order to then apply the actual nose strip. Okay. I need to ask my mother for this, to be honest. All right. Okay. Same thing for the other side. Oh. It's not completely aligned, as you can see. But first time, let's try to find out what happens in 3 to 5 minutes when we're gonna add the nose strip. All right now we're gonna apply it. And let's see if it works. Oh. Ja, voelt echt. Zie je het?
Ja, bij de neus gaat het eerst wijd. Dat je er was mee.
Dit is echt heel raar oprecht. Oh mijn god. You guys like it? So I just finished up this 27.5 kilometer run, and this thing, literally, I've never done this in my life, but I've not even once basically took breath through my mouth. Everything was through my nose. This thing is literally amazing, because also a lot of people tell me, if you breathe through your nose, you will just become fitter over time, because that's the way how we're supposed to breathe, right? Basically, except for the very, let's say, intentional workout, like where there's a lot of like intensity, right? But this thing, literally, the way how I breathe, even though might be a lot of people looking at me, is insane. So 27.5 kilometer workout run completed. Right now we have a little bit more of fat for this second meal of the day. We have basically the entrecôte steak that we picked up yesterday at the local butcher, and we have 1 avocado. I ran out of eggs, so that's pretty unfortunate. So I have also a bowl of yogurt, Greek yogurt with some whey protein. That's basically the second meal of the day. Later today, I have a homemade paella, basically Spanish dish from basically my dad. He's basically cooking that. It will be amazing. A little bit higher in carbs for the third meal of the day, so I will keep it more, let's say, high in fat for this second meal. So yeah, it looks amazing, of course. It's grass fed. And to be honest, I'm pretty hungry as well after the 27.5 kilometer run. I only had one gel with me, and of course some plastidextrin with electrolytes. So that's it for the second meal of the day, and I'm definitely gonna enjoy this one. So this is our second meal of the day. And I did this intentionally because as I will have, let's say, more carbs in the evening, I want to, let's say, moderate my carbs right now. So I'm not, let's say, overreaching the amount of like macronutrients in terms of carbohydrates. So keeping my fats a little bit higher. And of course we have the bone broth after the run, which provides just a lot of collagen as well, which is, you know, what my muscles, what my bones need in order to recover, in order to perform tomorrow. Because tomorrow it's Monday, I will have leg day, and I'm just willing to perform at my highest level. Of course, the strength trainings we always reduce a little bit in terms of volume and intensity, but I'm just doing everything I can in order to recover so I can perform for the next workout. And as I mentioned, I will have more carbs later today, so that will also give me the right, let's say, fuel as well to tomorrow train faster during my strength training, right? So yeah, that's what I always like to look at in order to you know, give myself the right amount of nutrients and right amount of whole foods that I like, but that also my body requires, right? I normally top off this steak with maybe some butter or anything like that, right, to give it more taste. Especially when I'm fasting almost every single day, when I'm having less in terms of volume and intensity, when I'm not into a marathon build. But as I'm right now in the build, I'm basically willing to reduce my fat levels a little bit more, increasing my carb levels, and therefore I will just, let's say, hold off a little bit for the amount of butters and oils that I'm trying to consume on a daily basis. So that's my second meal of the day. I'm really gonna enjoy this one. And later today, we of course have the homemade paella from my father. So I just got back from the weekly grocery haul, and we got ourselves two 280, 300 gram ribeyes, 300 grams 2 times entrecôte, and 1 kilo of ground beef. So this is for next week. This is enough fuel as well midday in order to survive and of course to thrive during the workouts. So that's it for next week. It's gonna be amazing. If the furnace is hot enough, everything will burn. This is something that I've heard a lot of people talking about lately. That you can consume whatever you want and you can consume as much as you want of it. It doesn't matter what kind of source of protein, carbs, or fat you're consuming. When you're into a marathon, when you're maybe into a triathlon or maybe even an Ironman, you just need calories. And it doesn't matter what source you're picking it from. This is literally an invitation to consume whatever you want and as much as you want of it. Truly, I don't believe this is true. I would even argue this is improper fueling. And let me explain why. Look, to me, it literally sounds like a golden ticket. That you're literally able to consume whatever you want, right? Think about it as a vehicle. You're not just going to, let's say, put water inside a vehicle and expect to get it from point A to point B, right? You're not just going to put like some honey inside a Ferrari and expect to, you know, actually move and to get towards a destination. Or that you're going on a road trip with your family and you're leaving your entire vehicle unfueled, right? It's not going to get anywhere. Or if you're not going to put the right quality or source of, let's say, fuel inside your vehicle, then at a certain point, it will just start to bonk, right? It's just not going to get there where you want it to be. So fueling, and especially properly fueling, does not just consist of what you consume, let's say, prior or after your workout, but also what you consume the days leading up to, right? If you want to get the best outcome, you want to perform at your peak, you need to have the right fuel source and the right amounts in order to perform at your best level. Think about high quality proteins, think about high quality carbs, or high quality fats, right? Around your workouts. Staying on top of nutrition and also hydration. You know, having electrolytes or at least sodium inside your meals and preferably also inside your drinks leading up to that workout So you're able to actually perform better and just at your peak. I once heard even a story from someone who told me, if you're going to fuel me the entire day, I can literally run the entire day. And first of all, I questioned it because I thought, you will just get tired, right? But if you're running easy, you need eventually to have the right fuel in order to, continue. Because you will burn it, right? The right kind of fuel source. But if you're running easy and you just consume enough during that workout, I am 100% sure you will see overnight success in that sense, or let's say huge shift in terms of your performance and what you're capable of achieving, because you have the right amounts of nutrition and most likely even hydration inside your body to perform according to that goal that you want to achieve. So this is how I personally look at nutrition and hydration before, during, and after my workouts. And then of course, prior to my workout, I am at least aiming to consume, let's say, anywhere from 40 to 50 grams of carbs and at least 500 milligrams of sodium. And this is of course dependent on the type of training that I have, right? If I'm, for example, having a very big interval workout, speed work, right? My body just needs more fuel, and I will most likely add, for example, sourdough with honey and some banana, right? Prior to that, what I'm consuming in terms of supplements, right? The basically Kaizen fuel source that we are creating right now with electrolytes, that's something that's set, right? That's what I consume every single time before my workouts. But around that, you want to think about, okay, what is the type of fuel that you need to perform for that workout you're aiming for? And what type of workout are you actually doing? If you just have an easy run for 10 miles, most likely you need less fuel than you will have a speed workout for 10 miles, right? Or you have maybe a long run for 30 kilometers that you do maybe once or twice every single 1 or 2 weeks, right? You all need to consider that in order to find the right fuel for that workout you're focusing on in order to perform at your highest level. It makes literally the biggest difference. And that's also why we put inside each cube of Kaizen fuel the right amounts of carbs and also sodium that I need and that most people need prior to their workouts in order to perform just better. If you're training fasted right now, I would just encourage you to just start properly fueling. Like first, maybe very lightly, just add something to see what it will do to your body and during your workouts. And also how you recover, because what you will consume the days leading up to that workout will facilitate your recovery. And that is literally making a huge difference in order to then of course perform as well the day after or maybe 2 days after the workout that you will have later. So we should not only rely during a marathon prep or like let's say endurance races you're focusing on let's say our appetite, right? If we are hungry or not. Because most likely you will consume too little compared to what your body needs to fuel, right? In terms of fuel and hydration to perform. If we are just relying on our appetite during let's say a massive big block, right? Where you're just going to put 3-4 times more volume in than you normally are doing, right? And you just consume the same amounts, then I would say that you're just improperly fueling and you're not giving your body the right nutrients and the right amount of fuel in order to continue to develop, recover, and perform. That is really important, right? So we should think about, okay, what kind of like fuel are we putting in? And also about not just calories, right? Calories are great because we need to, of course, burn it. But besides calories, it's very important to understand what type and what source, high quality source, are you putting into your body, right? You cannot just consume, let's say, a McDonald's meal and see it as the same amount of calories as, for example, a ground beef plate with rice, with avocado, right? The right amount of nutrients that you need in order to just perform better. Even though it might have the same amount of calories, the fuel that you will feel during your workouts and also to recover will make it just like a world of difference. That is very important, that we consume the right qualities. Every single person is unique, right? So what I need and what my body needs, for example, might be something completely different than, for example, what you need right now in your situation, depending on your requirements. Think about what is the weather condition right now where you're living, right? If it's very humid outside, you most likely need to add more sodium and more electrolytes prior to that workout, and then of course after your workout to replenish your sodium levels. If you are a very salty sweater and you live in a very humid climate, right, you most likely will see all those like white lines all over your face, all over your body. When you, for example, strip off all the clothes that you have, that you just literally see all the white lines on your body. That might be and might mean that you're just a very salty sweater, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to replenish that sodium levels prior, during, and after your workouts a little bit more than someone that's not a salty sweater. So the weather conditions, the type of training that we are doing, how we are training, those are all, let's say, circumstances that we need to consider in order to fuel ourselves properly, right? So look, if you go literally from not fueling at all, like I already mentioned, to, for example, fueling, starting to fuel something, right? To put something in your body prior to your workout, I would just suggest start easily. Don't go from 0 to a 100 overnight. Most likely you will see GI distress, you will see discomfort, right? You will have all kinds of bloating, gassing. That's what you don't want. What we don't want is that let's say that the fuel that we put in our body is going to work against us. That's not the way how we should approach it. So we should always consider the situation we are in right now. And if we want to start something, start it easily. Our body, your body, most likely needs to adjust to that type of circumstance that you're willing to create for yourself, right? It needs some time to adapt. And that's why it's so crucial for a marathon build that you're literally going to eat, fuel, replenish yourself how you will do it on race day. Don't go literally from 0, right, not fueling at all, to consuming just a lot of carbohydrates and electrolytes prior to, let's say, race day, because your body is not adapted to consuming and handling that during your runs. And that is why it's crucial to test it right now during your marathon build, in, let's say, the preparation leading up to that race, and not just on race day itself, because it most likely will work against you. So if you follow the principles and you're going to experiment and literally just test what is working, and especially of course what is not working for you, then you know what to use and how to fuel yourself before race day. Everybody is unique. You need different requirements, different kind of fuel than I do. But if you know how to fuel properly, you can literally train forever. And because of that, you can become better, 1% better, literally 1% better every single day. And that is the goal.